Hi, and welcome back to Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch. It is October 7th, 2014, and I just want to do a quick little update on the patch here. So I got my fall garden going, and you can see I have my black-seeded Simpson lettuce. So the last video you saw, that it was they were quite tiny, as they were started by seed, and as you can see, I'm getting some good growth here. Okay, and some of this stuff is actually already harvestable, but I'm gonna let it just keep on going and you know, get a bigger harvest a little bit later on. And and the reason you see that half of the bed is planted but the other half isn't, like I believe I said that in the last video, is this big old 12-foot wall right here. As the sun is to my right, setting in the west there, as the sun gets lower in the sky, as we get further into the fall and into winter, this 12-foot wall blocks a lot of the sun out during the daytime. And what it does is, and I know this from experience, that right in between those two beds right there is generally where the cutoff is of the sunlight and the shade. So right about in here, you can see pretty much a line coming right in here is where the cutoff is, and that's why I haven't planted anything in here, because I know it's not going to get much growth. This is my daughter Piper's daisy flower plant, so you know. And here are some extra, I believe these are collard greens in here. Okay, that I thinned down a little bit, and I'm hoping to get them out pretty soon, transplanted. And here's some red romaine in these two right here. You can get a close-up of that. Looks kind of cool, almost Christmassy, right? And green red. So that's looking pretty good. And there's one of my few remaining pumpkins. I brought it out from the house to get it to ripen up, and it's done pretty good in the past couple days. It's really turned a lot more orange. So let's see, a few extra cabbage plants here, hopefully to get those out. And this is a peppermint plant that I'm just trying to get as much sun as I can, get a little bit of growth, and I'll bring it in hopefully in the during the winter time, and hopefully get it to survive. Let's see, got my red Russian kale in here, about 3 or 4 plants of red Russian kale, and I have some one dinosaur kale plant right here. So it looks like something still keeps chomping on these things in here. I've been out here and I've sprayed 2 times now with some BT, so, and spinosad at the same time. Kind of mixed them together and, you know, gave these things a good hitting of those. So had my daughter Piper clear out the bed here. This used to hold the pumpkins, and it used to be the trellis right there, and I've taken that down because this is going to I'm not going to be growing pumpkins up trellises anymore. I've given up on that. It's just too much of a pain to have to deal with the squash vine borers and the squash bugs and everything, because even with the tool material that I've been using, you know, eventually those vines, you know, they come out of the tool material and it opens it up to the bugs to get in. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy these special nets over the fall and winter time and into early spring. I'm going to buy these special nets for each bed, and I'm going to build, I think I said this in the last video, I'm going to, just like this system right here, only not quite as high, I'm going to build a PVC frame and bring it up about, maybe 4 feet off the level of the dirt, and frame it in, and that way I can drape this special netting over top of the whole bed and protect it from the bugs. That way it lets the majority of the light in, and it's a special netting, so it's different from the tool material, and that I can buy it in huge wide widths that I'm going to need to really grow pumpkins in, because the stalks and leaves of pumpkins can get very tall. So anyways, I'm going to be doing that, so no need for trellises anymore for that. But what I will probably do, at least I'm thinking of it, is when spring comes around next year, you know, this whole area by the wall is going to be, you know, start to get more of the sunlight. So what I might do is build a small raised bed back there, a long one, maybe only 3 feet wide off of the wall and fairly long, and put in some watermelon or maybe some green beans perhaps, and grow and put the trellises out there, lean it up against the wall, and let them grow up that way. Because I discovered, at least last year, my first time with watermelons, none of the bugs seemed to mess with them. They did not get attacked by any kind of bugs. Even the squash bugs stayed away from them. The squash vine borers didn't mess with them, and they supposedly like watermelons, but they didn't really touch them. Maybe it's because they were busy having a field day with my pumpkins and zucchinis and things. I don't know. And maybe there was their preference on the menu. But I might do that next year. So anyways, in the next couple weeks in this bed right here that got cleaned out, I'm going to plant some strawberry, put the strawberry plants in that I'll get, little plugs of them. And I'll put the rest over on this half that's going to be in the shade here soon. So they'll do fine just there. And moving on, here is cabbage plants. They're doing okay. I would like to see a little bit more faster growth on these things, but you know, getting what you're getting. I didn't really have a whole lot of opportunity to revitalize the soil too much, but I am keeping it on the liquid fertilizer program, and I did come out here and sprinkle some granular fertilizer around the base of all my plants, so hopefully in the next couple weeks or so that stuff will start to take a hold. So these are all cabbage. These are Charleston Wakefield cabbage, supposedly a 4 to 6 pound head, but we'll see. Hopefully these things again will take off in the next couple weeks and really start to go. This hedge is of course oregano from 2 plants growing through the whole summer. It was mostly shaded out by tomato plants and things like that, and zucchinis. So it's now taken over. Pepper bed. Bell pepper's still going pretty good. I had to put the tool material on because different critters were coming in here and chomping on my nice big bell peppers, and they were eating them and leaving half of the pepper still on the plant hanging down, and they took a big chunk out of it. So I wasn't happy with that. Alright, so blueberry plants still holding on to their green. Haven't really started changing a whole lot of color yet. Still getting new growth on my plants, so I'm hoping that these things are going to take off next year. I'm hoping also in the next, sorry about that folks, hoping in the next, I don't know, maybe a couple years or so, I'm hoping to go get some property, and then I'll be able to transplant all these, you know, blueberries out, and you know, and get some more blueberry plants and things like that, and maybe designate an area specifically for strawberries, and that way I don't have to keep buying new ones each year, you know, and replanting them. Just let them do their work themselves. So you can see a little bit of on this one is starting to change some colors. Some of the leaves are beginning to change color. All right, so that's looking good. All right, into this bed right here is collard greens. There's some baby ones that I started here and a few in there, and I'll thin these down, and I gotta see how I'm gonna get some water to these because they didn't quite plan that very too well. And you can see some of the bigger collard greens. The collard greens seem to be doing all right. You know, hopefully they're gonna get a kick in the pants with the fertilizer I put in there. Hopefully that'll get going. And let me come around to the other side. Away from that trellis I eventually got to take down too. Like I said, more collard greens in here. Okay, so they're doing all right. A little close up of them. Nothing really seems to be, not too much damage. And I've been hitting them with the BT. And over here I have my Swiss chard. First time growing it. It's I thought this one was doing pretty good, but it seems to not really be taken off. And this one seems to be my best one right here. You can see underneath. You can get the red veins, everything, because this is the red variety. But it was a rainbow, so what you get is what you get. You know, most of them were red that sprouted up. Trying to get a variety of different colors in here. You can see a couple little yellow ones and whatnot, but you know, it's taken a while, and I was hoping that they would really get going, you know, before it gets any cooler. So, well, I don't know if there's too much else to really say. Blackberries plants haven't really done a whole lot of changing of color yet. I think over the spring, over fall, winter, and maybe a little early spring or whatever, I'm going to be changing the garden configuration around a little bit. I'm going to, not sure exactly where everything's going to go, but my plan is to move the blackberries back there and maybe bring them over on this side over here. And the same with the blackberries that go back behind all those beds. You know, I'm going to bring those over, I believe, and then I'll be able to move this trampoline down and put it under that willow tree. And then this space gets a lot more sunlight, so I might as well, you know, make better use of this. And maybe, just maybe, I'll build another bed in here, get another bed in here. I don't know, you know. So anyways, oh, I hear my son, Luke. Yeah, there's Luke. I can hear him. So, where's Mr. Luke? Oh, must be in there somewhere. Okay. Anyways, from Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, you know, post them down and below. And thank you for subscribing, and let it go from there. Oh boy. Well, you guys have a good one. I'm gonna go deal with my son, and all right, bye.